listed.
Finn has 2 N's, so I just don't know if you knew that.
Hello, we are live now. I just wanted to make sure, double check at least a couple of things. This is what I expected, I think. Cool. You have 2, 3, 5, 6. That seems probably right. Sorry, we are doing a little bit of troubleshooting as my hard drive died that had all of everything on it. So we are in backups and rebuilds of characters and all that.
We should just take this opportunity to switch the entire game over to Pathfinder.
Oh God.
Seconded.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
Oh God. No.
I wanted to have.
Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, no, I like the idea of what you're saying and hate the execution of how that what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so what we're gonna do, we're kind of gonna go ahead and move on in. You guys have been at Strixhaven. We're gonna be in the first week of school for this. Do you guys want to kind of talk about what you might have done as in your first bits of like your first introduction with your clubs? What you guys might have think would have gone on there. If you have any thoughts on that, what might have happened for your little bit of those, you're more than welcome to share with your peers. But there is no pressure either. There's no peer pressure here, except for when there is. Matya, you have more hit points than this.
You said Matsu
Don't
goes
think.
Sorry,
I
I
don't think
was
that
saying. Sorry, I was looking at his character sheet, and the
Oh.
hit points are one thing that do not auto update, but I have updated his.
Oh, did I do it wrong?
No, you didn't do it wrong. I put you in, and it just kept the number that I inputted. It doesn't change that.
Okay, so I might have to actually fully restart from scratch because my Foundry is now
Yeah.
version 10. And
Uh-huh.
the export that I have created won't actually import here.
I see.
Oof.
Luckily, you just don't need to follow the path. You can just put it in if you can see it in your Foundry.
Yeah. I can open it in my Foundry. Yeah. Exactly. I do only have one monitor right now, so I'll wait.
That must be super hard for you.
Oh.
Yeah, it is super hard, Cameron. If you know what I mean.
I truly can't imagine.
You want to send it to me, but I can put it in. Why is your? Oh, you have armor. Never mind. That's why. It kept those.
To whom are you speaking?
You. Oh no, sorry. It didn't keep those. I'm looking at the one that it made, the one that I made.
Gosh, and you don't even have the Charactermancer.
I don't. I'm not a patron to that thing that I don't think we can talk about. It's part of the thing that we can't talk about, right?
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
I thought we all just did what Wizards of the Coast told us to do and just made.
I never do what Wizards of the Coast tells me to do.
Oh.
I regularly do what Wizards of the Coast tells me to do. Actually, I follow the rules.
Speaking of which, I want all of the 11th Tournament people to make their characters in D&D Beyond because we can use the Twitch integration, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
Question time.
Uh-huh.
So my max HP current should be 11, right?
11. You're right.
Drew D8.
I don't know how I made. No, you're right. I did the math and just did it bad. Oh no, I treated you as a D6 because I have 2 wizards. Yeah. That's why I had just had to do that. I had just fixed the wizards' HPs, and I was thinking about wizards.
Oh, good.
It'd be cool if Blade Singer gave you a D8 hit die. Like,
you know, it should.
Sure, it does.
No, it would be cool. And also, you get enough, man. I promise.
I'll take your word for it. I'm gonna be the first guy to die in this campaign.
That's
I'm telling you.
That's true. Yeah, that's also like that. That's totally true. It's nothing that I think that I might have mentioned it, and we can go over the actual mechanics of it later on. I think that I would like to use Matt Mercer's resurrection rules, what makes it a skill challenge kind of thing. We can look over what they actually are, but I am looking to incorporate skill challenges into the game.
Nice.
Pull a edition of the game that I've ever played into our game.
It's old school.
They were big. Well, it's not that old. It's 4E did a whole lot with skill challenge. I know they might have done it older than that too, but I know what I'm pulling from is 4E's version of the rules. I found a couple of how to implement this into 5E supplements that I have paid for.
I liked 4th edition a lot. I feel like 4th edition and Pathfinder would both sold better if they'd changed their names. If they had like swapped names.
Maybe.
4E had been a
Pathfinder's doing very well.
Called Pathfinder. I'm saying it could have sold really well if its name had been Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition.
Oh, that's true. No, but OG Pathfinder was. You're talking about not 2nd edition Pathfinder.
Yeah, the 2 games that came out in 09, 4th edition D&D and Pathfinder, I think would have both sold better with the rules that they had they swapped names. There's no way for that to have happened because Wizards of the Coast made one and Paizo made the other, but
right.
But Pathfinder was the clear lineage of D&D, and 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons was a new game system, wholly unlike anything that had come before in the D&D system.
So,
is there music?
Oh, no, there's not. Thank you.
Sorry, I have fully derailed us.
No, you're good.
Nah, that's to be expected.
What music did I do I have loaded in here? Why does this... Okay. All of it. Good.
Yeah, that's a user data.
Combat Brutal. What?
Yeah, okay. Hey, I'm ready for combat.
Yeah.
Alar's the one who is assuredly going to perish.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm not gonna wuss out either. I'm flexing up in there. I'm gonna give him a gun show before I go down like a bitch.
All the bardic inspiration.
I don't know what any of these songs sound like.
That's me all the time, honestly.
I just like, oh, that's a fun name. Let's hit play.
Yeah, whatever feels right.
It should kick in for you guys at some point. It is on repeat, so it will be the same thing for a bit, just so we can make sure that we all get there.
We were talking about our clubs, the first week of our clubs and classes. Is that right?
Yeah. If you guys have thoughts and feelings about what you guys did in the in your first little bit, those specifics that we went through. I did not actually ask for this ahead of time, so if you feel put on the spot, don't feel put on the spot. That's fine. That's just I plan on kind of opening with a bit of this, like just to like, hey, what is your character doing in the world in this week? Kind of, I want to make sure that we like just to ground us a bit and get us in before we get going.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make a little money and buy a really nice pair of socks because socks are important. And buy a teapot for my dorm room so I can have tea first thing in the morning. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, you're totally able to do that. So your jobs that you guys, they all pay a risk. They're not exactly, but they might as well be in terms of bookkeeping, because of bookkeeping. 5 gold a week. So you get that. You can definitely take your shifts to do that.
Oh wow, that's a ton of money actually.
You say that, but this is a magic school and everything's inflated. But everything you want is way more expensive than, like, it is a lot of money, and you should remember that realistically. But also, you know that that's your weekly salary.
In this economy, it's not that much money.
But
yeah,
but you can easily buy those things. You have money to spare.
Great.
Is there a governing body we can point to and blame for inflation and give them funny nicknames like Brandon and slap stickers about them on Magic Guest?
I have not got into the politics of how this world works exactly yet because I want to. But
it's run by dragons.
No, it's not run by. It's the school was
I think
founded
they
by
peaced out.
dragons. They're not too active anymore, and the world kind of functions without them. That was kind of like they did not want to be overlords. That is kind of a thing that
It's
asking
very
around.
non-dragonly of.
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
It's more of a Tarkir thing, really.
No, I mean
I would
it's a dragon
probably.
thing.
Oh, I'm
I'd
saying
probably
that
spend.
the Tarkir dragons, they wanted to rule that place. That was their whole jam.
What was that, Iman?
I would probably spend my time trying to get to know the central part of the campus, just where I'm at the moment. Make sure I know where all of my classrooms are before I get there. But write out on a Pexel spreadsheet. Just it's a little notebook that I have by Pexel, Martin Pexel. It's really great. Just lets me write all my classes and their room numbers and landmarks that let me know where they get there. Try to pick out a nice spot in the library where I think I'm going to be. I've already decided I'm going to be a front row student, so I'm like probably going to do a front left kind of guy. Just trying to make sure I got all my stuff in together. Trying to find, like, slyly, just by happenstance, where everybody else that I just vamped in with is staying at. So if I need help or get panicked, I will try to figure out where they are.
You do have a dorm room, and there will be a map within the next month of this dorm room. I have one coming from a guy who has made some of these maps that we will use. Uh, there's
It's in the mail.
no, it's in the process of being made.
In the man's hard drive.
No, not even the man's hard drive, in the man's head.
Oh.
Nearly in the man's software.
His soft drive, if you will.
I could pull up. I could show you guys like the version that like.
No, it's fine. We'll see it when we see it.
Yeah. It is. I got. Never mind. Just one of the people that I subscribe to on Patreon. Bonus Action Rainbow is their profile. Just to go ahead and throw that out there and have an official statement on that. I need to go ahead and look at all of my sources for all of the things that I have because I've kept track of them, but I don't have that listed. They're all in different spots that I've written down. But we will have a dorm room, and you guys are in a dorm. Like
we all live in
think,
the same.
Think about like if like one side of Richardson, essentially, kind of. You'll all live in like the same common area. It's more of a more like a house, I guess. Like those kinds. It might be. I haven't decided if it's gonna be floors or not fully, but it'll be like there'll be 8 rooms. I don't think I'm doubling any of you up. I think that you'll all have your own room and the RA on the floor, or who might work for other floors too. I haven't decided yet, but you will have somebody on your
Sure.
floor like that. So just to give you that heads up, that's a good little yeah. You know where everyone is. They're down the hall. You have a common room and a cooking area too, and a study area. It's a pretty nice setup realistically.
All right, so Matsuya kind of dives in headfirst to his studies to begin with. He feels very he's in a very unfamiliar setting compared to what he's been used to his entire life, being in the middle of a city and everything. Even being sort of on the outskirts of Ravnica, he didn't spend a lot of time on the inside of the city. So he tends to spend a lot of his free time, study time, in the like wooded areas of the Biblioplex, where he feels most comfortable right now, as he's still settling in.
Yeah, you've definitely been like that there are forests out in the Witherbloom campus, and you can get out there. It's just
Oh, he definitely would have like explored over there too. Yeah.
But it's also like you need to. They are wooded, and when they're not, if they're like it is like a boggy swamp in a lot of areas. So like you know to be cautious. So you've not gone too far, but you've definitely had the chance to spend some time out there a little bit too. I will say
assume it's infested.
with that, you did get. Actually, well, I'll hold that for later. Never mind. I forgot because levels. Who? Alar, have you said anything yet about this?
I have not.
Okay.
So Ayla will be spending most of his time attempting to ingratiate himself with his club sponsors and completely forgetting to go to his experimental casting class for the first several sessions until realizing that he's missing something from his schedule, as this is all quite new to him. He will also, at this point, have been attempting to determine who in his fencing club is the most adept swordsman on campus, and attempting to challenge that specific person to a duel and losing horribly, and vowing to himself to lose no further fights, and to create some kind of defensive protocols around which he can.
One second.
Because you get to multi-class in one level. I mean, subclass in one level.
Oh, I have so many fucking names for my transformations. I'm all transformations all the way down. Like everything I'm gonna do is gonna be a different fucking install. I'm so excited.
Oh, it's not a good segue.
Delaware's not what?
Hold on, where is books? Rules is where books is. Sorry.
Have you guys ever had that dream where you are like in college and it's like 2 weeks before finals and you discover that there's a class you've not been to all semester?
I was literally thinking that. I had that dream, nightmare rather, like 3 weeks ago.
I had that life one semester.
Is that real?
Yeah, my second semester at college.
No, it's actually it's not. Strangely enough, it is one of those dreams that lots like dreams where you can't run. It's one of those dreams that lots of people who went to college have. Like I've met, and I've heard anecdotally, of at least like 10 other people who have had that dream, and it's just so
That's
very
insane.
specific. It's like, yeah, it's not, for some reason that's a societal. It's in the zeitgeist.
It's the can't prove a negative thing. It's like you can't quite prove to yourself that you've been going to a class you haven't been going to. Like, wait a minute, did I forget something? It's always just in the back of your head, like.
There was one point that I had. I don't remember what the conflict was, but like I could not go to an exam, and I got to go to a different time, and this happened actually in the same exam schedule. So one of my friends was like, it was Anna Guild actually. She was like, you didn't show up to the exam. I was like, what exam? What are you talking about? Like I ended up acting like I wasn't in the class at all, for like a day and a half. Like I had been in the class with them the whole semester, and I was like, "What are you talking
gaslit
about?"
the shit out of them.
They were like, "You weren't there." I was like, "I wasn't in the class. What are you talking about?" And then I was like, "No, I went." And I told her that I'd been. Also,
I think I was present for this bit.
There was one day.
You're awful.
You're
awful.
Yeah, it was a day that
I'm gonna gaslight this man. Oh my gosh.
I went to go to an exam, and I looked. I was leaving. This would have been sophomore year. I was leaving with somebody, and I was like, and I knew their schedule. Like, you don't have a class right now. I knew that. It's like for whatever class goes. Like, no. This is this block's exam. And I was like, no, it's not. It's this block's exam. And he's like, no, it's this block's exam. And I looked at my schedule. I was like, oh shit, I missed my exam by an hour and a half. So I walked into a psychology exam and took it during a different exam altogether. I was like, I got my schedule messed up. Can I just take it now? And can I take it whenever? She's like, whenever you're available. You can take it now if you want to, but that's it. It's like, I'll take it now in the remaining time of the block. And I got an A in the class.
Nice. Speaking last anecdote, I promise. One time, Trey and I had the same piano class, and I didn't. It wasn't the same piano class. It was the same piano class, different sections. I didn't realize that all of the quizzes, all the exams were going to happen at the same time. And Trey and I were living together at the time, and I was like practicing for my piano exam. I was playing the piano very smoothly, dulcet tones on the keyboard that Trey had in our dorm room together. And Trey was lying in bed, and he fell asleep. And I was like, "Oh, poor buddy, he needs a nap. I won't wake him." As I went to the exam that he was also supposed to be at. And he was so mad at me.
Can I share an exam story that also involves music classes?
Yeah.
So we were. It was Aural Skills 4, and it was dictation part of the exam, and it was supposed to be at 8:30. And we all know that our beloved Joseph Booth decided not to stay on campus that year, and it was 8:25, and Joe was not there, and Dr. Noguchi was just sitting there waiting, and so time got closer. At 8:29, I started vamping so that Joe could get there on time, because we all know Dr. Noguchi will not let you in that door after the time the exam starts. So I sit there and we have a conversation about her daughter, about her time in Japan, about how she met Dr. Parks, and at 8:45, Joe Booth finally gets there.
Oh God.
So yeah, good times. Good times.
Parafish.
Yikes.
Thank you for vamping during that time for me, because I was trying to find an actual NPC to give to
Alar for the fencing club.
Yeah, and
Give
I
me a
forgot
rattle.
that is from that supplement and not in the actual book. So
Oh no sweat. I just figured Alar is the kind of
It'll come up.
Yeah.
the kind of dickhead who would just
I'll tell
like
you who it was at some point. Another
he'd
thing.
hang back in the club and wait until he sees someone who's like hot shit and just like
Yeah.
I got this. Challenge him. Get embarrassed. Like bad. Like his like loincloth falls off and the whole thing. Oh no! Like it's just awful.
I want to stop you there, and then I want you to rethink that whole sentence as if when you had said "in the club," you meant in the club, where you got embarrassed because your loincloth fell off.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Good. Yes, quite.
Just dancing way too hard. There it goes.
Yes. Yeah. Why would you bring your loincloth to the club?
Why not?
Do you not bring your loincloth to the club, Sid? You should always wear your loincloth, Sid.
But I wear it under my kilt though, so.
A man of culture, I see.
I think that.
I think my brother is spending his week and a half or so before classes start, as everyone's getting settled in on campus, making sure he knows where the gym is, where the track is, trying to get in good with the facilities manager so he can go after hours.
Oh no, and this is a good segue into with Veronica as well. You tag along, I believe, in his first excursion into the bodybuilders club, which I was gonna hold this a little bit for Jerry to encounter, but I'll do this for him again too. It is not what he expected, and he is a little bit taken aback at first, but realizes that okay, they told us necromancy is thought about differently than here. These zombies aren't trying to kill me, and he literally just starts using them to lift weights, and that's kind of the whole like setup. There's a group of nerdy guys in the robotics team, effectively, who like is what this is that they are a part of. They are stitchers, not true. They don't raise full corpses from the grave. They put things together.
They're bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Dude, hold on. Did you just get that joke?
I just... No.
And in just 7 days, I can make you a man.
What?
Wow. Who's going to volunteer that piece of hardware?
I don't know, I just need the body parts.
Hold up.
That's many pieces
That's
of
an old
hardware.
joke.
Meanwhile,
Veronica, I think that you tag along in that endeavor. You're not really something you could be involved in if you'd like to be a little bit. I know you would express some interest, although it was not a club that you had signed up for explicitly. You definitely are welcome to be around, and none of the guys there can talk to you.
Did you say none of the guys can talk to me?
Uh-huh. They're not able to.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guys they are. That's why. You are a female.
There's no physical limitation stopping them, just
Oh no,
Ah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
It could be physical.
There's an
considered
enchantment
physical.
on the room.
It could be
Their
considered.
mouths are
talk-
sewn
you
shut,
talk
you
to
know.
them,
It could
they
be
will
considered
not-
an enchantment.
They cannot talk to you first, at the very least.
It could be considered a physical limitation. You know, hormones.
Yeah.
Are theoretically physical.
Psychosomatic.
Theoretically physical?
Yes.
Do you have other theories, Sid?
I do.
That could be therapy.
Specifically, that is what I was trying to imply. They are
I
uncomfortable
think that
because
physically is not
they
the
didn't expect-
ideal way to describe hormones. I think chemical is the ideal way.
Electrochemical, yeah.
The teacher is the same teacher that
Yes.
is the head of necromancy, right?
Yes.
It's not
Liliana
Professor Onyx,
Yes.
Liliana. There we go.
Yes. They
Um,
those are the same person. And just in case you were
yes.
curious.
Right.
But she does go by Liliana, Professor Vest.
We probably wouldn't even hear the name Professor Onyx, right? hasn't-
Correct.
In a long time.
Yeah, I think that I am gonna just go ahead and full commit to that because it's a piece of lore that it's not a secret. It's easier to.
I'd,
ignore it.
I'd like to devise a stratagem.
Wrong game. It's
Wait.
your turn.
Well, V just completely ignores everyone else in the room and bombards Liliana with so many questions about the club, about bodies, about making more
Making more bodies.
the non-conventional way.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Well,
And
we just ask Liliana Vest about the birds and the beads.
So I thought making bodies.
Alright. Iman's gonna bet somebody to do that. It's gonna be Jonathan through Iman. Iman would never, but that's gonna happen.
It was like theoretically, you know, there's an easier way to create more corpses. You have to create more living bodies first. So
So, she'll give you a bit of information. One, necromancy is one of the dark arts. Obviously, there are ways to abuse it, and make an insight check.
about to say, what a lesson coming from
Yeah.
Queen Voldemort herself.
Right.
Eight.
Great.
You can tell that there is some wisdom involved with this. That's about all that I'll tell you. She definitely has experience with necromancy. So that is what I'll say.
I mean, I hope my professor of necromancy knows how to do necromancy.
Yeah.
Golly. They hire anybody as adjuncts these days.
But like
Also,
practical
very
experience.
specifically, she very specifically
Maybe she's just adjunct.
she's very specifically not a stitcher as this kind of is. She knows she can do that. She can bind bodies together. That's just not the she raises full bodies typically. Is how she usually uses this magic. This black
I would assume
mana of the world.
Garrus would be pretty familiar with this, given that in Innistrad, Geralf and Gisa are pretty famous, right, for
Yes.
being villainous stitchers.
Yes, he would be.
who-
He'd be a little bit
they-
more attuned, if he had paid attention. If he might have paid attention in any of the talks that Davin, Sid.
Do not mention that name here,
Yeah.
Will.
What?
It's your father figure is Davin, right?
Davil? Star Song?
No, I already just messed up
Oh.
several times switching the names.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I
I don't
think
keep
it
notes.
doesn't matter. But yes, yes, could have had context there. Where we will find you, since and if you've any other things than just specifically that, I kind of put you there. If you have any other things, Kat, you're more than welcome to as well. I just kind of knew that was a good segue into pulling you in, since we kind of barreled over everything else so far.
No, V spends most of her time trailing members of the group that are in her classes and asking questions about how to be a normal person.
Nice.
Who do you ask this to?
Probably Amon, because you write things down all the time.
How to be a what? How to be a what?
Just, normal.
I'm not sure you're asking the right person.
Amon, I need to remind you should feel like you probably don't feel normal yourself in this setting. You are royalty, at least to some degree. You probably already feel uncomfortable in and of yourself, just as a qualifier to that question.
Oh yeah, no, I'm here. I'm with you.
I figured. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, we can.
I'm not
we can roleplay
entirely
ourselves.
certain that normal means the same thing for everyone.
So there isn't like one definition or like a pair of shoes I can put on that'll just make me normal?
No, oftentimes you need to be normal to whatever that is for you.
Intriguing.
Figure that out and be that, and above everything, watch out for that Finn character. He seems
I'd like to say
a little on the nose sometimes.
Why did he figure out the mole I put under his bed?
You did what to who?
Oh,
so.
nothing.
I'd like to imagine that Alar and I are like we're in the common room, and Alar and I are like several seats away, and I'm hard eavesdropping because I overheard this question to start with, and I thought it was going to be hilarious for Iman to answer, but instead I'm just confused with his answer, and then we get to this part of the conversation, where I'm like, looking at Alar.
I can hear you thinking sometimes.
Are you gonna let him talk to you like that?
I mean, yeah. But what's when you put a mole under it? Would it just crawl away? Is it a dead mole? I haven't smelled anything.
I mean, if you're gonna talk, why don't you just come over here? I can ask you the question too. Maybe I should source more answers.
Veronica, I don't believe any of us are normal.
Well, why not?
We're strangers in a strange land.
Think of it this way. Each of us was able to secure a nomination, at least in some degree, form, or fashion, to be sent away from our homes via what I can only imagine is remarkably expensive magic, to study at an extraplanar school for magic. I have horns and blue skin.
Quite pretty, I like them.
Thank you. Thank you. You're probably the first person who's ever said that.
Our
to me.
skin almost matches. I'm just a little bit paler.
Yeah, see, this is not normal where I'm from.
Oh,
And from what I could tell,
What
it's
is
certainly
normal
not
where you're from?
here.
Tell me
Is
about
it-
where you're from.
bodybuilder man, is he normal?
My brother?
Yeah, we have a club. Well, I'm not in the club, but I follow him to the club. But not that club.
That's weird. A little weird.
I don't want to talk about clubs.
Alar, did you have a dance party?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
No, I had a bit of a mishap with fencing practice. Bit of a wardrobe malfunction is what the locals call it.
Do you walk around? Don't you walk around shirtless? Is that part of your character?
Oh, above Taylor, yes. Alar wears a ceremonial loincloth and some boots.
There's
And
not much wardrobe to have a malfunction with.
It was
Alar?
Very very unbefitting of a warrior, nonetheless.
Well, I think it suits you quite well.
Suits. Sorry. Yeah, just all that to say, we are the paradigm of anti-normal. If you're looking for normalcy, I'd go so far as to say you're in the wrong plane of existence. And cheers to that.
Here's to that. I don't have anything to drink. Does anyone have anything to drink? I feel awkward.
Oh, I just have tea
bump
here.
This, maybe. I don't think
should-
I have anything either.
That's Veronica prepare you a drink. I heard.
Oh, I could! I
quite
totally
the
could.
Now, so the mole under my bed, is it trapped?
Oh, you'll see.
So, where are you all from? individually?
Oh, my brother and I are from Innistrad.
What is... Could you tell me something about that place?
It's awful. Next, someone, anyone, volunteer?
Oh, okay, well.
It's a land of horrors where vampires and werewolves run amok. There are angels and demons, and they're always in flux, and many more monsters than that. Now, that's...
That almost like, that was like a story, like a rhyme. Well done. It was really nice.
Garrus, you've been uncharacteristically quiet lately. Are you feeling alright?
No, well.
Fine.
Were you speaking as Garrus?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you for...
That's fine.
I'm fine, and I'm gonna back out of the just to fill in a little bit of information with that.
Suffice to say, we took the opportunity to come here for more than one reason.
I'm sorry that it was such a terrible place. If you ever would like it.
What was the
Place-
scariest thing you've ever seen?
Myself in a mirror. No.
That's not
We
very
were
scary.
That's fair enough. There are lots of people where I'm from who are very frightened of me. Not for any
Why
good
is
reason.
that? Have you done something?
I have blue skins and horns.
I take
No,
it.
that's
That's not.
That's
What
not
people
normal
do.
there?
It's reminiscent of a kind of being that is the epitome of evil. A being that finds the utmost pleasure and satisfaction in the misfortune and pain of others.
But tieflings have been around for a very long time. Surely that's not still...
In a world where demons also walk the earth, it's hard to make a distinction.
fit in very well where I come from. We all kind of look like you, so maybe you should visit sometime.
I think
Although, you have to stretch your ears. They're not long enough.
I don't think I would like that.
Is this the when you show them you keep your ears tucked in your hat, right?
Yeah.
Do you show them, or do you
No.
say, okay?
Great.
Love table, you'll remember. Cat's playing a moon folk, which is a bunny person. She got big.
I'm not a
Yeah.
bunny!
And like I didn't know that about them for a long time until it actively looked.
It
up more
literally
about
looks
it.
like their ears. I mean,
And
their
what?
hair.
Yeah,
I had to point it out.
Once it says like, oh, those are their ears. It's like, oh shit, they are.
It's
What
like
was it?
backwards bunny ears, though.
Yeah.
They grow
Yeah.
down.
Well, it's because
And back.
Kamigawa is Japan place, and the moon in Japan, it's not a man in the moon, it's a rabbit in the moon. They see that shape in the moon as a rabbit kneading dough. So rabbits and the moon are. It wouldn't
Holy
you could see if they were called moonfolk and you saw their art, like, oh, it's a big rabbit.
You just unlocked a whole new thing for Final Fantasy 14 related. Actually,
They have rabbit folk in that game.
Four, yes, is where the
The one
Locker
Vaughn?
actually
No,
came
10.
from.
10 has a Vaughn. Is it 10?
12,
12.
right? Wait. I might be thinking about the wrong character. Anyway, the Loporits live on the moon, and they are little bunny people.
That's why.
Excellent.
More than likely.
That's why.
Now you know.
Like, even if they weren't connected.
Now you
directly connected originally, they probably stole that from that lore. Reasonably so.
They pull lore from all over the place. So
I'll turn to Finn as he explains demons on Innistrad and kind of like grimacing. We've got demons where I'm from too.
Oh, so you know.
I don't know that I've ever seen a demon.
What sounds like the ones that Finn has are very similar to the ones that we have. They're monsters, irredeemable monsters. One of them took a friend of mine when she was very young.
I'm sorry to hear that. Seems like there's much
Innistrad-
sadness in all of you.
Innistrad is a place where the normal folk of the world band together in hives and colonies, cities, townships, to pray throughout the night that they aren't attacked by everything else that lives in the world.
Do the gods protect them there?
No, there are angels though. Is the lore that you would have.
Okay, you're good. There's something like that. I've heard of. I know the concept God. There are those who believe in such a power. There are celestial beings that defend mortal kind. They are often woefully ill-equipped and don't take too kindly to folk like Garrus and I. We're kind of... We don't belong in those hives and colonies, townships. Nor do we belong out in the night. I guess we just don't belong.
Well,
Sounds like a hard life, friend.
I think you belong in Strixhaven at least. You don't seem
We
to.
will
certainly
see
hope
Matsuya across the cafeteria, and we'll send a bumblebee over to buzz by his ears until he looks towards our group.
Takes him a second, but eventually he looks over, huh, and he kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The mic cuts it out, but yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Discord.
Yeah.
It's not background noise. I'm trying to do that.
I'm trying.
Good afternoon, Matsuya. We're discussing home planes.
Home plane.
And about how some of us are demons where we come from. I mean, just me and Sid. Finn. But,
That fourth wall? Gone.
Sid.
obliterated.
Sid is a demon.
I'm blaming it on the fever.
Blame it on
That
the
is unfortunate. That Finn, honestly, do your people see you as a demon?
No. You've already started off with the wrong frame of mind. I don't have people. Okay? Garrus is my people.
No, we're your people now. I don't see you as a demon.
Nor do I.
Thank you.
And for one thing, you'll have a conversation with us. It's better than a demon would do, isn't it?
Well, they do like to talk to their food.
I have conversations
visibly
with my
shudder.
demon all the time, but he's not really a demon. He's kind of a demon.
Veronica, you haven't told us much about where you're from. I didn't.
Or your demon, apparently.
Indeed.
He's my best friend. Well, he's my only friend. I mean, I guess actually I've decided right now you guys are my friends too, so he's not my only friend. But
This is exactly how I made friends in college. Somebody just walked up and said, "You're my friend now." That person was Loyal Hurst. Anyway, continue.
that's how I also did it in college. Worked like a charm. And AJ. Anyway.
Aj.
I am from the moon. Not really. I'm from Kamigawa. Might as well be like the moon.
What's a
But it's a different
Kamigawa?
world. I don't know.
If my translation's correct, it has something to do with spirits. Kami. Right.
Yeah,
Hameha?
yeah, that's what they are. That's what my friend is a kami, you know. I talked to him a lot. He's the one that got me here.
Is he red?
No, he's like every color. And none.
All the commies I know are red.
I think I missed a joke.
Kami can be spelled in your head Commie, and what Chavis has done here is pretended that it's the 1960s. See, the flag of Russia.
Of the Soviet Union.
I
Oh,
see.
sorry. Yeah, the flag of. I think the flag of Russia is also.
Soviet Union.
But yeah,
Yeah.
at the time it would have been. the Soviet Union.
I laid a trap, and you walked right into it. All 5 of you.
Fucking commies.
Anyway, yeah.
Joe McCarthy would hate Kamigawa.
Anyway,
My family didn't like that I talked to him, so they said don't come back, and I didn't.
Well, it's terrible.
why is this? That sounds so tragic.
Oh, it was actually very nice. I got to like practice all my little magic-y bits and like throw things at them every now and again.
Anyone else?
Well,
Am I the only one that doesn't have a tragic story associated with my presence here?
No, I also did not really have a tragic story.
Oh, it's just that they're the most willing to share, okay.
I was specifically asked about my home plane. I'm not here asking for handouts. I don't need your pity.
I don't know if I offered it to you. You would have it, but no need to be defensive here.
Tell
I
us
am
about your-
sorry if I offended you.
I need a handout because I'm the only one here without a drink, so...
I don't have a spell for that. I'm sorry. I could go back to the fire jolt and make you.
No, it's okay. I don't really want one. I was just proving a point.
I'm working on a spell for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about it. I'd be very much interested in.
Talk
future-
about it. Let's
Yeah.
see how far you are then.
Squares.
Insert Seamus explosion here.
I'm using
So-
attempting to use my 3rd level ability at 1st level.
So, Alar, it is Alar, right?
It is.
Yeah. Where are you from? Tell us about it.
From a place called
+3, baby, because intelligence is not. I am that kind of caster. Here we go. 13. Unless it can be a charisma arcana check. My spell casting ability. Okay, in that case, it is instead a 15.
Amon's starting to write stuff down in the book again.
Finn. That's very impressive.
Yeah, very
it's-
much so.
Nothing yet, but I am working on it.
Perhaps a verbal component. You might test around with some of the draconic words for water.
Those could help. For sure.
So, when I say I'm working on a spell for summoning a drink, what I mean is I'm working on a spell for summoning matter from nothing. Well, from somewhere. The specifics aren't really all that important. It mostly is accumulative energy from the gyration of planes against one another in the in-between space. It's a skim. It's like a Ponzi scheme, but for the energy between the multiverse. Anyways,
Then,
it's not quite there yet. Not quite.
Whenever he says the details don't matter, Amon scratches something in his book. It continues writing what he says.
What do you
Well,
write down in there?
things I find interesting, things I don't want to forget, ideas, about magic, spells, life, love, the pursuit of happiness. You know, just anything that suits my fancy.
How does it not run out of paper?
Oh, it does. I have several, but this one's just the pages are actually very, very thin. If you take a look, and he shows it to you, these are like razor thin pieces of paper. You would think that trying to write on it, it would tear through it, but he shows you, and he doesn't really let you look at one page very long, but just pages and pages and pages and pages of like calligraphy level handwriting, and like you would think that as fast as he's going, it wouldn't, but it's just like immaculate.
I'm imagining, you know, like in middle school when the real zealots stand outside the school and pass out free Bibles.
Yeah.
Of paper.
Well, they're called Gideons, but yeah.
Oh. I'm pretty sure they were Baptist, but that's okay.
Damn it.
I don't know. I really don't know concept.
What? Anyway. But anyway, they're but it's that sort of thinness. Yeah. 100%. That's actually exactly what I was thinking about, but I wanted to find another way to say it.
Yeah, no, I get you.
I struggle to write on normal paper. I don't think that I could write on something quite as thin as that. I'm impressed.
Oh, it's I don't mean it for it to be impressive. It's really just for my thoughts.
Mattia, I was in the general store the other day buying some socks because I've never had first-hand socks. I've always only ever had second-hand socks, which is not as sad as it sounds. They've always been in great condition, but I just wanted some socks of my own. So, but anyways, I saw. Yeah, you can look down and I am wearing, like, even though I'm wearing shorts, I'm wearing half shin blue silk socks, and they are luxurious. Like, I spent way too much money on socks, but I kind of blow it off. But I saw in there a quill that you can actually dictate to, and it would write in super fine, tight script. So you could put a lot on a page, even with sausage fingers. I mean,
but
writing
really though,
yeah.
He pulls from his like massive side satchel one of his like oversized notebooks that he uses. This thing is like 3 feet wide when it's open. Right. So you mean that I don't have to carry around these
I just
massive tomes?
You know, now that you mention it, that might be something you'd be very interested in.
I am quite. Oh, you have just changed my entire perspective on this school, to be quite honest. I don't think I'm going to think about much until then, until I go and get one, but
I'm glad that we've got this had this moment here. What about you, Matsuya? Where are you from? Tell us about where your home.
I am from
you.
I am from a city called Ravnica.
What plane is that on?
Ravnica.
A city called Ravnica.
They are one and the same.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, please continue. Sorry for interrupting. I was just
either a very small plane or a very large city.
Yes.
Or it could be a regular sized city on a plane.
I'm on a plane and
it's a city and
True.
So tell us about it.
Well, I primarily live in the wilds on the outskirts of the city. I am from a primarily tribal people, known as the Gruul clans. There are several clans that make up what is collectively known as the Gruul, but
appetizing name.
Our
I say that's what many of my people call dinner.
our primary purpose is to traverse the wilds and clean up fallen sections of the city.
When you say the city and the wild,
He means the plains. The whole plain.
fascinating.
The Ravnica.
The Ravnica, yes.
That's really fascinating. It must be delightful to have a purpose like that.
It's certainly a job, especially considering recent events.
Recent
Been
events?
some. We are on the tail end of a rather large conflict on the plain. Nasty business, but nonetheless, peace has been relatively restored. At least as peaceful as it will be with all of the guilds vying for power as they do.
Sounds complicated.
It is quite.
Fascinating. I apologize. You asked me a moment ago where I was from.
I would like to take a quick moment, interject, I apologize, to share with you all what it sounds like when you put a beer can into this Yeti koozie. It's like loading a mortar. It's really satisfying. I'm sorry, Cameron, go ahead.
You gotta keep your hand well away from the aperture when you do that, or you will blow that thing off. There you go, yeah.
Please
Otherwise, I apologize, Mullen. You asked me where I was from.
Well, yeah.
I had to leave.
Figure we're going around.
I'm from a plain called Kaldheim. From what I understand, it's a good bit colder than most climates that other plains have.
And what does Heim mean?
It means plain. Genius, but thank you. I appreciate you.
Cold plain. Got it.
It's a cold place. But I'm specifically from an area called Skemfar. It's the Shadowed Forest, where the Shadow Elves are from. King Harold rules over it with a fair but stern rule.
I'm sorry, his name's Harold.
Yes, Harold. What is funny about my king's name, Finn?
Nothing at all. I don't have kings. I only have
Do you want me to spike his tea again so he'll stop talking?
I don't want him to stop talking. I just don't see what's funny about the name of the monarch of.
I rather enjoyed it the last time it happened.
I don't know. I apologize. We don't have kings. We don't have kings. Only in storybooks.
How do you know?
Your tea is safe.
For now.
If you don't have kings in Innistrad, how do you know who rules?
The rulers are the survivors.
Trial by combat, then.
Trial by survival. They don't fight one another. They just try and make it through each night.
That sounds strangely familiar. I think you'd be quite at home on Imishtam. Kaldheim, unlike your planes, I think, is multi-layered. There are realms within it, 10 realms. You can reach them through omen paths that are not unlike planeswalking like we did to get here, though I think the 10 realms are closer to one another, as I've never seen an omen path open to a place like Strixhaven. Imishtam is where the demons of my plane are from. It's also where the vampires of my plane are from, but they don't look anything like Garrus. They're all dragons. Dragons and vampires are one and the same where I'm from.
Fuck.
Are they vampire dragons?
Yes.
I didn't know that was a thing that could be. I didn't know you could have that.
And I was not aware that they could not be this one and the same. The distinction confused me at first.
You must have been so scared that he was going to turn into a dragon.
Yes. Yes, when I heard the Garrus was a vampire, I was actually quite mortified. Aelor's going to back up a little bit.
You're a vampire?
I'll go ahead and chime in with A, he's not a vampire, per se, and B, he can't turn into a dragon.
Per se.
You know of.
No, although I've heard
Have you ever seen him and a dragon in the room at the same time?
You know what I mean. What?
No, that tracks. Yeah, I'm here for that. It sounds like a.
Hey,
Fairly.
can you show me what your dragon form looks like later?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Garrus, you should show her what your dragon looks like later.
Is that Jerry or is that?
Mm-hmm.
Will as Jerry as Garrus, yes.
Oh, above table, V is never sexual. Like, never.
Garrus just take a drink and hope someone says something. That's what I always do.
Well, thank you for sharing. It's good to know where we're all from.
You never said where you were from.
Oh, I'm from a plane called Eldraine. I live in I live in a castle called Castle Lochthwain. There, it's a lovely place.
A castle.
Well, yes.
Like-
Oh,
The whole world's a castle?
No. We just live in the castle itself. Is in a plane called Eldraine.
El Drano.
And yeah, so I live there.
Well, are there
Lived there my
dragons
whole life.
there? Or vampires? Or like scary demons? Or
Well, there's quite a bit to protect oneself from, but we really don't have a lot of issues. Our castle floats on a storm cloud, so it floats around the wild, so it's a bit it's kind of hard to siege. And of course, like we have a lot of very brave warriors that are there, and of course there's Will and Kenneth that are be there quite a lot. So
when you say on a storm cloud, you're certainly referring to it's just being levitated by thopters of some sort.
Wait, no. I was confused.
Not at all.
And then thopters, the word itself, did not help me at all.
I'm also lost. What is a thopter?
Forgive me, my lord. I didn't realize we were in the presence of someone who grew up in a castle.
Well, I'm not really a lord at all. And a lot of people live in castles.
That's not true.
It is true. There's thousands of us that live in Castle Lochthwain alone.
Right. Okay. A lot. I think we have to begin to qualify. Do a lot of people in your plane live in castles?
There's thousands of people who live in. There's actual several kingdoms that are around.
50%.
I would beckon to say no.
Okay. All right. More than 20% of the entire plane.
Actually, we don't actually have the numbers for everyone
I
in
think
each
you're
of
making
them.
his castleness uncomfortable.
Forgive me, your castleness.
Are you royalty in Molten?
Vaguely.
Vaguely royalty.
My mother is the queen, but I do not have. I'm nowhere near next in line for the throne. It's there would have to be quite a catastrophe for any of that to happen. So I'm.
So Mattia grew up in the woods. Garrus and I grew up in a structure that could, in the very loosest terms, be called perhaps an adjunct outhouse. And you grew up in a castle.
A castle in the clouds, no less.
In the clouds.
Here's my
I
fairy.
think there's a song in my country about that. How do you know that?
I must be a extra planar.
Yeah, so above table.
lullaby.
Yeah, songs are extraplanar. Ideas like music can travel the planes without people traveling with them.
Is that
That would
A-okay,
seem to
Will?
be.
Can we know the same songs? Heck yeah.
Fair.
Well, I suppose that your assessment is correct. He did grow up in the woods, and I mean, I don't have any reason to doubt where you grew up, and I did indeed grow up in a castle.
Marcy, you might be the one person I know who's from the woods in the city.
It is an interesting thing, I suppose. Though not unlike here, we do have woods within the city as well. I mean, it's not so dissimilar.
Indeed. You must feel more at home here than some of us.
Within certain parts of campus. But I am certainly used to this several ecological distinctions between the zones of the city itself, certainly.
If you ever get homesick for the trees and stuff, I would like to go too, maybe.
What's homesick?
Homesick is what you feel when you are not at home and you wince it.
Oh.
We need to find the two of you a home.
Where home is where we are.
You can come with me and harass my village.
I think that we'll just study at the school and.
Oh yeah, I mean like when we're done.
That does burn.
I'm not planning on leaving. I just maybe I'll just fail all my classes and study indefinitely.
I thought they ate you if you did that.
They do. It's true. They will eat you if you fail classes. Forgive me if I'm wrong here, Finn. I just assumed you were interested in the life of academia. But after your courses here at Strixhaven, you simply choose to stay. Given what I've heard about your home plane, it doesn't sound like the place anyone would be rushing back to.
But some did. The man who brought us here, he studied here, and then went back. Went back to hunt the bump in the night.
Is that a battle one can win?
I don't think so. He seemed to think so, though.
I applaud his courage.
He seemed to think
was like a very brave man.
Well, brave is a word. Stubborn is more accurate.
Perseverance is a virtue.
You make it sound so noble.
He
did have a way of making every day feel like a small victory. Anyways, I don't think I'm going back.
I think there's wisdom in that.
It does raise an interesting question, then. If we're talking about where we're from, let's talk about where we're going. Does anyone have any post-school plans once they complete their courses here?
Well, I hope to become a planeswalker. Reverse the planes and explore, much like some friends that I have.
I believe it's noble, but if I'm not mistaken, don't you need to be born with something inherent to do that?
Perhaps.
It can be stolen.
Perhaps not.
Stolen.
Perhaps it can be developed. And if it can, I aim to do so.
If anyone can, you can, Iman.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I haven't done too much actual research into it, but from what I understand, it's an attribute, a quality that magic can allow to be transmuted from one possessor to another, be that willingly or otherwise.
Doesn't sound like this sort of process one survives.
Well, I hope to try.
I wouldn't know.
If you spend your whole life in a castle in the clouds, you really want to go somewhere else. Everywhere else.
Some waste their whole lives wishing they could live where you came from. That's funny.
And some waste their whole lives wishing they could be anywhere else but there. It can be restricting. Never
Yeah,
leaving.
I can imagine.
I sense there's this sort of animosity here
Not
based
at all.
on this situation.
Not for me.
Insight check.
Okay. Okay. Let me.
I'm not sure how Iman responds to this. I'm not sure how Foundry responds to Foundry's not sure how they respond to this because it's gray screened.
Iman is being asked to check his privilege.
For me,
Our music stopped as well. My
I am not gray screened. I am good.
I'm just gonna restart Foundry.
Yeah, if you reload, it should be good.
my check for you to beat. I can't navigate. Oh, you have the screens locked. Screen perspective locked. Of course not. Iman, the DC for your insight check, assuming that it's contested. William. The DC is 17. That's what I rolled.
Okay. My computer says that it's waiting for a response.
Can
That
you roll
it's
a
not
D20?
getting.
James, I can just roll you a D20 if you want me to.
Yeah, it's
What is
I'm
your
trying to
insight?
think if I'm trying to think if I'm proficient in
The
inside checks.
the natural roll was 17.
Okay.
Then it beats it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would beat that, presumably.
Yes. Unless you had a -1.
I
Which
do
seems
not. I have a I think I have like a 12 wisdom. Yeah.
Okay.
I got a -1
To his
So, yeah.
dome.
to wisdom.
What is my? I have a +0 to wisdom. So
What how many druids or clerics?
yeah.
Oh, what's up with your
Gotcha.
wisdom?
I got a 16.
Anyway, I got 20.
Okay.
What do I glean?
Yeah. I am. There is some poorly veiled passive aggression about just kind of how nonchalantly you dismiss the extreme privilege, for lack of a better word, with which you have been granted, and it's just kind of a sharp relief in that this opportunity to come and learn here is a reward that is twofold for Garrus and I, because it's an opportunity to learn at one of the most prestigious schools in the multiverse, but also even if we were just offered the chance to come here and tend the gardens, it would be a better life than that which we had left. And so you do, with an insight of 20, I should think, despite my attempts to hide it, you do glean that I think that you are very much undermining the advantage from which you have come.
There's no war like class war.
I would I did that for our personal check to see how Iman would. No, I did that just to see how a mob would answer, because depending on that role. I don't mean to say what I say so flippantly, nor cause you any sort of whatever this is. I was just answering the question truthfully.
You needn't worry, my friend. My animosity, as you put it, is self-won and a burden of my own. I apologize for allowing it to spill over into our conversation.
I'll give Finn a really loud slap on the back and, don't worry, friend, I'm from a cabin in the woods too. I work at Fire Joel, right? Not Bose End. Okay. Making sure I'm not like drinking on the clock. Got it. Okay, I think you're right.
Yeah, because you worked at the place that we
the
had to
worst.
get for the quest.
No, there's another coffee shop. The one in the Bibliopex is a secondary coffee shop than the one where.
Right.
Horrible job.
It was the worst. Drex, I did not mean to ignore you earlier. I'm sorry, little man. Tell us, what is... This place is Arcadios, is that correct? What is this place like beyond the campus boundary?
So it's like a scholocracy? Scholarocracy? Educocracy?
Would that not be a meritocracy?
No,
Just
I'm
because
sure
if the school was a government, that would be
Also,
crazy.
Above table, I think the closest thing we would have would be a meritocracy or perhaps a plutocracy.
Oh yeah, let's get the poli-sci major to weigh in.
Yeah, I think you would call it a hybrid plutocracy / totalitarian government because sure,
Autocracy.
it's like it's the Game of Thrones thing, where like when one person, or in this case, one faction, has fucking fighter jets that are alive, and the rest of the factions have swords. It's a really one-sided battle. Yeah, I'm really wishing we had someone from Tarkir here, because that'd be such a cool contrast. Because the Dragon Lords of Tarkir are dictators; they're the worst, and like it'd be really cool to contrast that.
Like
5 of them too. So it's
like Aber.
Yeah.
Actually. Tarkir and Aber have a lot in common.
If I get knocked off, there's a bad storm. So
just to remind everyone, there really aren't minors that enroll here, right? This is a college explicitly. Like for
not like a high school. Is this like Harry Potter or like
Harry Potter, but college.
Sure. What is the age range? Is it strictly merit based? Could you be quite young and still qualify to enroll?
Oh.
Okay.
wow.
But the general population is.
I think the party were all adults. I think, right? Because
Well, she's an adult by legal means, but by her own people, she's not.
right.
Same.
Yeah, Alar same way. He's 23, so like.
Yeah, she's 29, but they mature at 50.
Right, but Moonfolk would be like 300.
How old did you say she was?
Like 29-ish.
Okay. Amon's 20.
Yeah, Matsuya is 50.
How old do Loxodon live to be?
Loxodon typically live to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 600.
Okay.
And they don't reach maturity until 60.
Okay. How old is Finn?
That's a great question. I'm looking it up now. It's in a Google Doc. Garrus. Yes.
My impression of tieflings has always been painted by Hellboy, where when he was a toddler, he was a grown man, and then he stayed about like 20 years old looking until he was like 112. And then
I have aged in a humanly fashion.
Okay.
LeChance. Brothers LeChance is what the brothers tragic backstory of the brothers LeChance. Thanks, Jerry. Yeah. It doesn't have our ages in here. It just has the general timeline. I don't know. We are. Yeah, that's probably close.
$19's a good number. Especially now.
So we have our years are an indiscriminate number. It's just until some celestial event tells us it's the next year. So not every year is the same length.
When about 20 years ago, shit got real weird.
New moon.
From the War of the Sparks. Yeah. But I imagine Innistrad's still kind of getting over, like, in the same 2-year span, yeah, the Eldritch Moon events happened. So, like, I don't know if it's public knowledge, but Avacyn is fucking dead. And then on top of all of that, the lunar cycle went absolutely bananas, and Teferi had to come in and like stop the sun from spinning in the sky for like 4 months while he figured out what the fuck was going on. Okay.
That's Niklaus' last name.
Sigarda?
Niklaus.
Oh, Sigurd, yeah. That's cool. Did was ever
I
made
miss
public knowledge
Klaus. I wish I could do him over again.
Soren Markov created Avacyn? Was that ever made public? Okay. Because that would like shatter public perception. Yeah. Do you guys like my indicate jokes earlier? Speaking of Soren.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's my favorite magic joke.
Vampires are assholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met him.
That's a proboscis.
That's true. That is what that's called.
That's a hot looking proboscis. Alar does have some like, I guess that you may not be wearing them always, but you've got like wolf furs mantle. Yeah. It's not just like completely nude. From the waist up.
Sorry, yes, that's correct. I'm not just always nude from the waist up. That's true. I do have a mantle. If anyone asks about it, I'll go on and on at length. But he would not have addressed it as
the first wolf that you slew on your coming of age journey into the woods.
But he will not have even pointed to that or mentioned it as clothing. If anyone had asked about it directly, he would have explained it.
Cadoras Damalawar.
Gonna go out on a limb and assume that we haven't seen any other shadow elves. Okay.
I'm beginning to realize that rounded ears are in the extreme minority in the multiverse.
Indeed.
I suppose you're right.
Unless humans.
There's pointed ears, there's Matya's ears, and then there's these ears.
Right, indeed.
Is there something wrong with my ears? And he flaps them.
Not at all. I'm just saying it's unusual to see such a diverse oral organ array.
Do we know if Matya, are oxygen common in the multiverse? Do you know from your studies?
They are quite common in my plane, but I am not certain if... I will put it this way, I've only ever met one other here.
Ah, I see.
Right? Is that true? Met Rampart? Yeah.
There's... Yeah. Yeah,
right,
Quintoris.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to change Mazia's answer, I think.
There's a Professor Quintoris in Lorehold College who's a...
Mazia is going to change his answer then, because he's now seen 2 planes for sure that actually have lots of dawn.
Okay.
Are they not common where you're from?
No, Oxenden and Coldheim. To my understanding, there are animals called olifants that are not dissimilar from you in appearance. They have a similar head structure and I believe it's scientifically called a proboscis, a trunk. But I don't know of any sentient or sapient ones that can communicate like we can.
Creatures that look like me, but that are not sentient. That is interesting.
Alar will do his very best to quickly sketch an elephant, a creature he called an olifant.
Yeah, you've seen monkeys, right?
Performance? Okay. Yes. The total on that's going to be a 17.
Oh, it's a Matia dog.
Yes.
Somehow I'm offended by that.
I didn't draw it.
There's a description.
Warriors will often ride them into battle as though they're like a platform from which it's easy to hear commands shouted. Sorry, they're like 15 feet tall. I should that.
Oh, like a giant Matia horse.
Yes, bigger than a horse, but yes.
I don't know if I should gone from dog to horse. Is that an upgrade?
I feel like there's a lot of
Definitely.
ethical and moral questions to answer when having this conversation.
I don't think
I don't know from whence elves come. I'm just not very familiar with elf, but
the Aenar actually will all descend
it's
of the gods.
that's okay. Really, it's pretty clear though. If you've ever seen like apes, like it's not derogatory to have evolved from something less sapient.
No, I believe elves all come from a god, if I remember correctly.
The Aenar, the great gods of Coldheim, who once
Right.
in the ancient times are the progenitors of elves in Coldheim.
Something like that.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
Well, everyone have a good first week of school.
Science and magic just like just no irony and like, oh yeah, I'm descended from the gods. Yeah, no, absolutely. This is just fact.
I have had a fantastic first week of school. It is odd to not participate in such physical labor constantly, but welcome.
it's been
1 week since you looked at me.
That's not funny.
It's been rough on it. All my quadrant classes are super interesting. I'm totally getting what the teachers are saying, but when they ask me to explain it, they want me to use like math words. And I mean, I guess that's the way that they understand it, but like I want to draw a picture because it's so much more simple to explain it using graphics.
Well, your exam should bear that out.
Quite catching each other.
When they ask you to do a practical exam, you should be able to simply cast the spells they taught you.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
our computational
I'm not
magic
really in-
class is a little bit different. Like,
Yeah, computational magic. I mean, I understand everything the teacher's saying, even though she explains it in all the wrong way. I get
well, I
there.
don't really know if it's the wrong way. It's just I find it's kind of straightforward. It's like you're laying out a layer upon layer upon layer.
Yeah, but
you eventually arrive at the. It is computational magic, so.
Yes, but the computation itself is the class, not the numbers. So we should focus more on the relationship between the numbers than what the numbers themselves are. It's like I can draw how these things get from here to here. Actually, it's easier to create an illusion in 3 dimensions.
But generally, you should understand the building blocks before you start building. If you start building with clay bricks instead of stone bricks, you might get the structure, but it might not be structurally sound.
That may be true, but I do feel like I'm designing cities, and they're trying to teach me what a brick is.
Right. But we just want to. I think they just want to make sure we're building cities that are not falling on themselves.
Can confirm that is not a good thing.
I get that, but for me, the concept of brick is not one that I fully understand, but can intuitively assume will be right. I'm at the point now where I have all the bricks, and I need for them to be the right kinds of structures.
Iman looks down at his notes where he scratched out the details don't matter. I see. Quite so.
I math very intuitively. I understand how the things.
No.
Yeah.
Common is strange.
Common is strange. What about that? We never thought of how strange it is we all speak this. Let's not open that can of worms. Veronica, how are you taking your classes? Are you excelling?
I think so. I mean,
they're teaching you
I
Excel.
follow the word of every single teacher, and
I love Excel.
I'm sorry.
Have I showed you my notebook?
I fucking love Excel. They're teaching you Excel? So jealous.
But to be honest, I'm kind of bored. I kind of want what happened when we first got here to happen again.
You want each blood cell to rip across, to rip out and explode itself?
Well, yeah, that was very fun. But also, the action, the adventure, the looking for things, the fighting. That's exciting.
Well, we could go look for things. I'll come with you to look for things.
Really?
Well, sure. Yeah. We can start with the mole under my bed.
No. It'll find you. Don't worry.
I'm not worried.
It's very nice, don't worry. Its name's Marnie.
That does give me some confidence that it's living still.
Well, I did go to the bodybuilders class, so I've learned that definition is not always what it seems.
It's not the piano. One of the fires in the kitchen is not producing as much light as the other 4, as the other 3. Okay. The others have all exploded at some point. Okay, I apologize for distracting. Go ahead.
Why would I not be familiar with the hurdy-gurdy? It's like my 6th favorite instrument.
I'm so perplexed.
It's a marvel. It's a marvel.
What a bizarre name for such a strange instrument.
On the bottom. Yeah, I mean, when you... Anyway, sorry.
That just blew my mind. I'm left-handed. Is it on the right? No matter what sound it makes, I will be...
Travis is on it.
I'm
Travis
just
is looking up a YouTube video
my
right
favorite
now.
hurdy-gurdy song. Hold on.
Has a favorite hurdy-gurdy song.
But I can put it in Discord for friends.
It doesn't matter what sound it makes, I'm going to be surprised.
It's just like a violin.
It's pretty, yeah.
But a lot of violins.
Normal. Me.
A bagpipe? Is that...
I just posted a song for your listening pleasure at your own time.
It's the string version of the bagpipe. Excellent.
I'm listening to it right now. It actually, when you do that, it actually like makes the resonating strings. They're called trumpet strings. It makes them buzz, and depending on what they're tuned to, it'll resonate with the drone string in different ways to make different chords and overtones.
Who did this?
You should fire the first moderator. Oh yeah, I like monks. Monk is his name. It's apostrophe S.
It's like
Monk is the mod.
The
Yeah,
guy
Monk.
who Reese is named Reese.
I have a blank screen. I hear somebody's hurdy-gurdy playing through their microphone.
Oh, my bad.
No, I'm not upset.
That was
Jonathan,
impressive.
how much is a hurdy-gurdy?
You can buy kits that you can build your own, and they are about $1,500. If you buy one that's built, they start around $1,800, and you can get more. If you get like a fully fleshed out hurdy-gurdy with a couple of different drone strings that you can switch between, it's about $3 to $4 grand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was about to say
sure.
that's actually not that bad.
No,
Like,
considering that like a Bach 42 open rep trombone used is $1,800 right now to $2 grand, which is just like the standard you will be okay with this trombone for the rest of your life, unless you want to go like custom or go crazy and get like a Gretsch or something like that.
Baseline for orchestra.
Yeah.
Very bottom shelf for orchestra.
Whenever I graduated from high school, my parents told me that they would buy me a guitar or a car. And y'all have seen my Taylor, right? That's really nice.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. When I was down on my luck, I sold my trumpet, and used I sold it for it was a Xeno, Yamaha Xeno. I sold it for $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and I wish I hadn't, honestly, but
Xenos are nice.
I have never had $3,000 by itself.
I immediately turned all that around, and I had to pay off a car that I had totaled that only had liability insurance on it. So I owed the bank for the car that was undrivable and sitting in the junk heap. And that's why I was in kind of underwater on it. So anyway, I also have only briefly seen $3,000 all at once on a check.
Right.
She's a vampire.
So as we have this conversation, and Alora like slowly like turns his gaze over to her side of the bar, like she could suck my blood if she wanted to. Apologies, gentlemen.
What was that?
No.
Yeah, Alar, she is.
No, you said something.
He's gonna turn into a dragon.
Might be worth it.
What are we laughing at?
Nothing. It's nothing at all.
Okay.
Eben 100% agrees. Matsuya is.
She's really fleshy and pink.
Don't make me put that in the quotes. Stop. Just continue.
Matsuya's like, her nose is so short. How are you attracted to this young lady?
Her ears are very tiny.
They are pointy though.
Yeah, what do you do with a drunken sailor?
Oh God.
What do you do with a drunken?
It depends on the time of day.
There's
honestly.
actually a number of options. I think
I
13,
have to sing that
14
for
verses.
the Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alar, you should see. Have you seen our? I just saw him passing. But our bestiary professor.
Yes, I'm aware of her.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's all I gotta say. I got corrected. It's not our bestiality professor. I don't know what the difference is, but it's important apparently.
What can we do? I like it. Excellent. At the end of her song, Alora will just kind of like nod and turn to the party and, what is an orc?
Are you not familiar with orcs? They are somewhat. Oh, true.
We met one. There was a gentleman earlier.
Ah, I see. Part of the reason this is funny.
He's the one who says it's not often. Amon flips through his book. He's the one who said it's not often people care about the things that trees say.
Ah, that's an orc. I thought that was a very ugly elf. My apologies. Above table, I wanted to point that out. There are extremely, scarcely a few Magic the Gathering planes that have orcs. So all of us should be like, what the fuck is an orc? I think. Yeah, all of us should be like, what the fuck is an orc?
Are there not any in Ravnica?
I don't think there. I don't
I was
think
about
there
to
are any
say.
orcs in Ravnica. I'll double check. There are definitely trolls in Ravnica. Let's see. Ravnica. Are there orcs here?
Oh no.
Oh, yes, there are. Apparently, there must be some planeswalkers then who are orcs who have been through, because here it says there have been orcs printed in Ravnica sets. Let's see. Oh, it was from a novel. It was never on a card, so don't count it. Magic's backwards. If it's been in a novel and not in a card, it's not canon. The cards are canon. The books are not. Oh. Ah, indeed. He's canon to us. I guess. Awful. Awful multi-class.
True.
I am, and my Vex, my Vex is very concerned about the guitar.
That's excellent.
I do not know how to explain it any more than that. I can't actually show you. She's like, okay, down here in the corner.
Yep. He performed a Discord magic trick.
Vexy. Dixie.
Cute.
Yeah, I am not allowed to take my ukulele off the wall, otherwise my cats start screaming.
Incredible.
Vex really doesn't like it. Vex. Oh yeah. Look at her. She's trying to see if the coast is clear. Come on, Vex.
Goodness.
That's too good. When she finishes her song, is she done performing? Is she like vacating the stage? Or okay. Alora's gonna awkwardly attempt to like, I'll be right. I have like nothing to say and just like get up from the table and just like blunder his way towards her.
And I guide him as he gets up. Go get him.
No, it's not the back. It's a little lower. My loincloth catches on the bench a little bit. I'm like, no, not again. I'm like, yeah. It's just, ah! So I'll.
Also,
excuse me, madam. I would like to tell
Bardic
you.
Inspiration.
Excuse me, madam. I would like to tell you that your performance was rather enchanting, and I am taken aback by your ability. And I would like to ask you if you'd like to share a drink with myself and my friends, or just myself, if you'd rather. have a more intimate setting.
This is the wizard who thinks he's a bard.
I'm casting guidance.
I'm just like glowing with magic, just like, excuse me. Oh, cool.
Oh, no? Oh. Right. Like minor illusion.
Cool.
Not like Tibetan throat singing. Look, yeah, you said double her voice. Oh,
So I'll
cast my bardic inspiration at level 1? D4, D6.
D6. So I'll shoot my terrible, terrible shot and see if it gets her attention. Oh, it was long and stumbling and awkward, but it involved asking her if she would like to drink with me.
Hey, that could also be.
Oh, I can roll. Okay.
Long and stumbling and awkward can be mildly endearing. If you flirt the way that Will does, then long and rambling and then and awkward is the whole flirt.
You gotta know what they're getting into. Is that what you're trying to say?
It's not changing. He starts how he finishes. That's how it is. So the total for my persuasion roll is 24.
Did you do guidance too?
Oh, how much is guidance?
D4.
D4.
I have 2 D4?
Mathia guided him, and then Yes, you got 1d4 plus 1d6.
Yeah,
plus
I rolled
your
a
modifier.
17 and a 3 and a 4.
Nice.
And I don't get a modifier to this. Because despite all my outward...
Because you're a wizard.
I am not a bard. And my charisma score is 10. I'll pop my pecs. Like, boop, boop, boop.
Deduct 3, yeah.
Oh.
Hey, I was just sitting there holding money. I was a magic trick.
Hey,
I'll give him one of these. And showing my friends at the table.
I got a number. How do you like them apples?
Oh, excellent.
What an asshole.
I'll really give him one of these.
Multiple times.
I'll really, really tighten the knot on my loincloth and like...
really tighten the knot on my loin. That's like a Southernism. Like, that really tightens my loincloth. You know, like... Anyway.
Tightens knot on my loincloth. It sure does. Oh, shit, I don't even know what to tell you. Hell.
I'll sit down and introduce myself to her. Good afternoon. I am Ayla. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Aurora. A beautiful name.
Hi, Aurora. Thank you so much for joining us. You had a wonderful performance. Me and my friends here, we're all actually from off-world. We're the foreign exchange group I guess you might call it, although I don't think you guys sent anybody to my home. Gosh, I hope not. Anyway, we're all happy to be visitors to your home. I assume you're from Arcavius? No. Where I'm from, it's not necessarily. I don't share the predilection. Although Garrus and I are brothers. That's where the confusion came in. And you as well.
I'm Iman. It's nice
His
to make
castle
your
ship.
acquaintance.
He's from a castle. He's in royalty. He can put a clock apart with his mind. I've seen him do it.
All true. All true statements. His castle ship.
Iman is not laughing. Iman is just like dreading all of this attention.
Dread.
What, castle ship?
Castle ship.
You're welcome.
It looks like yeah, what is it, the Enterprise or whatever? Or like one of the Star Wars big ships or whatever that the
Looks
Empire has?
It looked like an ISD. That's funny.
His castlefulness.
I don't really think that's necessary, but it is nice to make your acquaintance.
I am Matsya. That was quite an impressive performance. I enjoyed it quite a lot.
He can talk to plants, I think.
He's also from a city that's the same size as a plane. A plane that's all a city. Like he's from a city plane.
Specifically, Ravnica. But yes.
More
Probably
than
make a
that,
so
then.
will.
Oh, forgive me. Presuming.
That is a very interesting perspective.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah, I have already noticed that there is a strong inclination for people to label and box these schools into specific categories. But I'm not a smart person, but I am hoping to join the Quandary School because I have a passion for math and geometry. It's just so incredible how it all comes together, but I almost see it itself as an art. It's interesting that there are so many presuppositions about the schools themselves. I guess I have, in assuming you were interested in the death aspect of Witherbloom, inadvertently placed you in a similar box. I apologize. Yeah, Garrus, use fire or ice magic. I whispered to Garrus, who knows neither of any kind of magic. And I'll do a very, very slight um, ray of frost, just like in my hand, to kind of taunt him under the table.
Oh!
Why are we doing this? Is this normal? What is going on?
Can we refrain from damaging spells being cast at the table while we're trying to have a drink? For God's sake.
But also, my beer is evaporated.
We had like a bowl of peanuts. It's just like on fire. Oh, now it'll give you cancer.
There you go.
Okay, all right.
Or peanuts are glowing.
I need a new drink.
I think you have to get up and get it.
I have to suspect Veronica, although it really could be any of my would-be allies.
So Cameron is racking his brain as a dumb millennial, trying to remember how the fuck it was people organized hanging out with people they were interested in before cell phones existed. Because like the go-to is, so Aurora, let me get your number. But like I don't think it asks for like a sending stone. Because I don't.
No, so it would be like this. It'd be, can I call on you again next week?
Yeah, that's it. And Alar is not as stupid about this as Cameron is, so he will have already been smoother with this, and will like in the middle of like grabbing the group new drinks. So Aurora, could I perhaps meet you here again a week from now for another performance and perhaps some more drinks?
Or you can ignore all of them and hang out with me instead.
Veronica walks up behind you. So silently.
Mon is uncomfortable.
It's Mrs. Celia Girl.
Well,
Hey,
wonderful. I look forward to the
entirely negative. I whisper to Mattia. As I'm kind of eavesdropping across. Always eavesdropping.
I ain't dropping no Eve, sir.
No, they got up to get more drinks. Specifically, they walked like over to the bar.
Yeah, he was trying to be smooth. Like, hey, let's grab our friends more drinks because my idiot friend Garrus obliterated our drinks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then when I come back, you know, it'll happen in full view of the. I'll like turn to her to like close myself off for the rest of the conversation.
Mm-hmm. In which case, I whispered to Mattia, "Hey, that wasn't entirely negative. That was like not a shutdown, maybe.
Possibly.
I mean, if she didn't say no, she might as well have said yes, right?"
But she
Not
didn't.
how that works.
I know there are rules about consent and whatnot.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. I'll see you later.
Run while you can. Run.
I'm gonna rib Veronica. I'm trying to ruin my.
Suddenly, this
I heard you
cavern.
guys talking about the teachers. Like I'm gonna let you get with anyone else. Jeez, you guys are gross.
But there's like
Mr.
0%.
Bestiality over here.
There's
Gosh.
0% chance I'm gonna get to hook up with the bestiality teacher.
I really think you should use a proper title.
What's it called? I wasn't really having a hard time taking notes.
So bestiality is... You know what? Call it whatever you want.
Okay.
How did we get here?
Okay. I just saw her in passing. I saw her teaching her class to a different section. It's like,
I low-key think that Iman and Finn inadvertently find themselves spending a lot of time together around the
yeah.
Just because
I am not the kind of kid to go and look at where all my classes are ahead of time, but I had a couple of shots and was willing to walk around, and Iman started walking away, and I decided I'll accompany you.
Iman did not notice that you had taken any shots, does not know what a drunk person is. It's just you seem really friendly today.
What? That's impossible. You grew up in a castle. Surely you've seen drunk people.
At least wine drunk. So the card art for his mom, she's holding a glass of wine.
Doesn't mean you have to be drunk to drink wine.
It's true. But she's an
very
elf.
high
We all know about
tolerances.
elf constitution.
And Amon retires early for the night every time.
We all know about elves' constitution.
It's true. Mine's only 14.
In any event, I think
We did it, guys. We got so much done tonight.
Wrapping up for me, yeah.
Time.
No, so honestly, this was an entirely successful session to me. We could do this every time we meet, and I'd be happy. I know that story ultimately has to progress, but I'm also
Excited for your mole under your bed.
Is it okay? Veronica, really? Veronica, is it like a rodent mole, or did you
Go
slice
ask it.
someone's mole off of their skin and put it under my bed?
Oh.
I don't know,
could be a
what kind of
metaphorical
person
mole.
you think I am.
That doesn't answer the question. In fact, the ambiguity is strong.
Hey, Matsuya,
Actually,
I think we
it's
have a couple
more to it.
classes together next. Do you mind walking with me?
Just
Of course.
Okay.
Walking away anyway.
Bye.
Oh man.
So the Bows Inn Tavern has now suddenly taken on the persona of and Sid will get this immediately, the Aeolian from Name of the Wind. I don't know why, but he brought music into it, and now it stuck. It is the Aeolian for me. I don't know.
I'm excited to learn more about Aelor's rival.